Thanks, Mike. This is Doug Davis. Dayton, Ohio is the home of the Black Men's Mental Health Conference that will take place Saturday, April 15th. The objective is to create a safe space and reestablish trust for thriving among Black men through the provision of tools, networks, and resources. With us to talk more about the conference is Diona Clark, who has captured a well-rounded group of professional and powerful men from various backgrounds and experiences. Diona Clark is a gun and domestic violence survivor, author, and speaker. Over the past 15 years, she was shot twice at point-blank range by an ex-boyfriend after they broke up. The proud Howard University graduate has spent the last 15-plus years petitioning lawmakers on their local, or I should say on the local, state, and federal levels to provide more legal protections for domestic violence survivors and pushing them to reform gun laws. Diona, welcome to the Black Information Network and Your Black Business.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you on the show. God bless you. Diona, you've spent years advocating on behalf of domestic violence survivors. What inspired you and your friend to launch the Black Men's Mental Health Conference that will kick off again on April 15th in Dayton, Ohio?
Yes, so with my experience with domestic violence and just being a champion and advocate for it, what I noticed, and then also my friend who noticed the advocacy work that I was doing, was that a lot of Black men don't have that safe space to be able to talk about the mental health issues that they're dealing with or what they're struggling with. They don't have the opportunity. You know, women, we have conferences, we have girlfriends, we have phone conversations easily. However, with men, because of just the stigma of being masculine and putting up guards and things like that, they don't have the safe space. So we figured, being that she and I were both affected with domestic violence and both were Black men, we figured, why not open up a channel or an avenue to create a safe space for Black men to talk about their mental health issues? Because again, mental health issues to me is a result of pain-based behavior, and some of those pain-based behaviors is domestic violence.
I must commend you for this initiative that you're pushing forward. What made you want to go that extra mile? I mean, you know, was it the relationship that you had with this man that you knew maybe deep down that he was dealing with some serious issues? I mean, what was it that propelled you to take that negative and flip it to a positive?
It was definitely seeing that deficit of my ex-boyfriend not being able to channel what he was dealing with mentally in a positive way. And then again, on the other end, my friend who lost her father, who committed suicide, and then, well, he shot his girlfriend and then turned the gun on himself. She too felt the same way, that her father was dealing with something that he did not want to discuss or talk about with his family or friends. And it just drove us to be able to say,
Right.
We need to do something for our Black king.
Can attendees expect to learn about mental health resources, services, and support available?
Absolutely. That is our goal, to have those resources, that support there, even some services there for them. Because a lot of times when you look at it, like you said, men are not just going to be upfront about it. They don't want to be seen getting help on certain issues that they're dealing with because of the facade that they have to put on.
That's
Well,
right.
we want to make it a little bit easier to close that gap for them and have those services in place, or that support system in place for them while they're there attending the conference. We even have it set up where, they're able to complete a form to ask a question for the panel, in hopes of getting their questions answered. That may be the solution to
That's
an
smart.
issue that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So we're definitely embracing and loving on our men.
So let's talk about getting them there. What are some of the media mechanisms that you're using to attract men to come to such a conference that some might see as scary? Man, I ain't going to that, man. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? But deep down inside, they know they need to go, but that facade says no. How are you breaking down those barriers to get Black men in the door?
So the tactic that we're using is we're using other Black men that are power forces in the community of Dayton that have influence there, to be able to be kind of a messenger to go back and say, hey, this program is happening, or this event is taking place, and you may want to be there because you may be able to tap into a resource or something that you may be able to take from and be a better person. So that was our first initial way of attacking it. And then we have the media outlets. So it's, social media, Facebook, Instagram. We have a website. We are actually picking up the phone and calling some of these men, talking to them about the event. And again, they're sharing their own personal story about mental health struggles that they've been dealing with. So we're really being soft with this approach because we understand being hard with it, that's not going to get a man. You're not going to attract a man
Right.
being hard up and trying to force them, but
Right.
just taking a soft approach to get them
Right.
in.
Right. And what are some of those social media channels for people who are listening right now who may want to join in?
So we have our Instagram, which is Black Men's Mental Health Conference. So it's BMMHC. They can follow us on that. And then the website is the same, www.bmmhc.com, to find out more information. And then either they can look under my name, Diona Clark, or even my friend's name, Camillia Harris, to find out more information.
Gotcha. And let's talk about some of the notable speakers. Who do you have showing up on this day?
Wow, we have some heavy hitters. I'm just starting off with our keynote speaker, Jay Barnett, out of Dallas, Texas, who is a two-time suicide survivor and an ex-NFL player. We have a panel that's just filled with the bomb men. We have the assistant chief of police that will Dayton that will be in attendance. We have a federal judge, Judge Rice. We have the mayor of Dayton, Mayor Jeffery Mims. We have William Humphries out of Atlanta, who's a neurosurgeon. We have a lot of black men that can share so much information as it comes to mental health and also domestic violence. So we're tackling both of them. We're kind of going through the back door with the domestic violence thing because again, we understand there's something mentally that's going on that results in pain-based behavior such as domestic violence.
Yeah, great. Let's talk about funding. Was it difficult to get the money together for this? Is this a for-profit venture, nonprofit? How's the paperwork being laid out for this?
Yes, so this is definitely a nonprofit event. Our thing is we are looking to be able to provide 6 months of service for at least 2 people. Also, the money that we raise, we're going to donate it to some organizations, domestic violence and mental health. And then also it will be able to help carry us to the next city.
Gotcha. So you do plan on taking this on the national level?
Absolutely. Our next stop is Atlanta, Georgia, on May 20th.
Oh, wow. Okay. That sounds super duper exciting. So will this event be cast virtually?
As of right now, this first one won't be available virtually. That's something that we have been discussing and working out.
Okay. What's the big takeaway as we wrap up our conversation about your big Black Men's Health Conference, mental health conference? What's the big takeaway that Black men can expect when they leave?
That it's okay to take off the mask. It's okay to be vulnerable. You're not alone. You're not the only one that is dealing with mental health. It's okay to tap into resources to get the help that you need. And also, we want to let them know that we need them. You are our community. You are the head of our household. We need you.
Diona Clark, thank you so much for putting together the Black Men's Mental Health Conference that takes place Saturday, April 15th in Dayton, Ohio. You're listening to The Black Perspective. My name is Doug Davis, and this is Your Black Business.